episode of the Retrocrappod podcast, where each month we continue our search for the best bad movies on the planet Earth. I am your host, Aaron, and I am joined, as always, by Matt.
I'm always here.
You're always here.
I haven't missed a single episode yet.
Never not been here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Good.
Oh, good.
Consistency is key, as they say.
Who says that?
I don't know.
Yeah, well.
But whatever, we've got it.
True.
So they can shut up.
Off to a roaring start here. All right.
Yeah, I got hot takes. I'll spit them all day long.
Do it. Or is that we should have a Patreon exclusive that's just
Aaron's hot takes.
Yep.
Oh. Sign up to Patreon to hear that one. $4 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Or less if you're in America.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We're Canadian.
We are Canadian.
Our money is worth less.
Yeah, it's worth nothing. So, welcome to the new year.
Oh, yeah, it's the January episode.
New year,
I forgot.
new us. Big start to the year.
Hey-o.
I feel like the movie that we're about to talk about is one that we have been avoiding talking about for a long time, probably.
Yeah, that would be fair to say.
It's one that comes up frequently in the circles that we run in, which is people that watch crap for fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here we are.
So we'll get to that later. But before we do that, have you seen a good thing?
A good thing? I mean, last time we spoke was before the Christmas season. I feel like there's been a number of good things that I've watched. But given our track record, I feel like we should talk about Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. We have to talk about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spoilers from here on out. We're going to talk about it all.
We're going to talk all about that Spider-Man.
I'll put the time code in, I guess. What did you think
I
about
loved
Spider-Man?
it.
So
oh,
good.
I loved it.
It's so good.
I mean, like, first of all, it was just a good movie.
Yeah.
There's lots of good acting. Well written. It was a complicated plot. It was well written.
It was, yeah.
But even just, like, it had become kind of a joke that Spider-Man had been rebooted so many times.
Yeah.
To the point that with, like, Tom Holland, they just didn't do any of the origin story shit because
Yeah.
everyone was like, yeah, it's overdone and stuff like that. But for them, or, like, first of all, for Marvel to, like partner with Sony to use a character that they technically own in order to bring it into the MCU instead of just being like, oh, we don't own it, we can't use it, is kind of cool in itself.
Yeah.
But the fact that they would go to make this movie to make all of the other Spider-Man movies that have existed mean something.
Yeah.
Like, to make it so that they still matter in the grand scheme of things is just really sweet.
It is pretty cool.
And also, I definitely felt like the target audience when I was in the theater,
Yeah.
being like, I've seen all the Spider-Man movies. I love Spider-Man. I love all of the Spider-Man. This movie is for me, and I cried multiple times. So.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Because, yeah, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire both show up.
Yeah, to have them all in scenes together.
Yeah.
But then also to make it so beautiful to be like, especially with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, that, like, he had such a harrowing event, and to, like, give him emotional closure
Totally.
in a completely different universe.
In a way, it's like it's the third Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie in a way. Like, I don't know what it is, but, like, he just danced circles around the other two. Like, every scene he's in, he steals it.
I think he was the best part of that movie.
Totally.
It was an amazing movie with lots of amazing parts, and I think he tops it.
Which is weird because, like, I did not care for his movies at all. I didn't mind the first one. I thought it had some, like, fun jokes in it. I thought he was okay as Peter Parker, but like, as movies, they were not great. I don't even think I finished the second one, if I'm being fully honest.
I don't remember it.
I think I watched it on Netflix or something and then decided I don't actually have to watch this if I don't want to.
I mean, isn't that always true? Or?
Yeah, but it's not like
except
it's not
for
like
when
if
we get together for this podcast.
or if you buy a ticket to, like, there's very few movies I've ever walked out of.
Oh yeah,
In the movie theater, you know,
Yeah.
I can think of exactly two.
which two?
I walked out of Your Highness, and I walked out of, oh fuck, what's it called? Will Smith fights his younger self, but it's a clone.
What?
Gemini Man?
Sounds vaguely. You watch a lot more movies than I do. I don't know.
I walked out of that movie, I think, in the first 10 minutes.
Oof. It
Yeah.
only got to 10 minutes, huh?
Maybe 15. It was not very long.
I
was
usually
like,
try to give a movie like 20 before I decide whether or not I'm going to bail. 10 is...
It was rough.
Wow.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, I didn't have like the same emotional reaction I had when like he showed up at first as I did when Tobey Maguire showed up.
Mm.
I was like, oh man, that's great to see.
Yeah, because Tobey Maguire was our Spider-Man.
100%.
Right? We were just little
Still
little
is.
chiclets.
In a way, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, for that to be like, it matters, you know?
Yeah.
Like it has value in this greater universe that they're expanding. Yeah, that's beautiful. It's wonderful. And it also leaves room for us to be like, hey, so there's this canon MCU that's going on, but also any of the other movies, superhero movies that we've loved as kids, like they all matter.
Yeah, they all could count. And I mean, you know, the next Marvel movie coming out is called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Right. What's going to go on there?
So you got to think that there's definitely got to be an X-Men cameo.
Oh, that's right, because
100%.
Own Fox and
if Wesley Snipes' Blade showed up, that would be dope.
That would be whack.
It would be fun if they got Chris Evans back as the Human Torch. Because he did that before he did Captain America.
I forgot about that. Oh,
you know?
Gosh.
But yeah, I think like the animated, you know, Into the Spider-Verse kind of proved that like, oh no, normal audiences will totally just accept that there's multiple versions of the same character in multiple universes. And so I think like to bring everyone back, and like all the villains were so great too, you know?
Yes. Again, it was one of the things where like all the villains are great and it's awesome, but then there's Willem Dafoe.
There's Willem Dafoe.
Just head and shoulders above the rest.
Yeah.
He's so good as Green Goblin.
He's amazing. I mean, Alfred Molina is great always as well. I liked my partner was very upset that he didn't have his titties out for the whole for the movie. They're kind of like, "Oh, turtleneck."
Like how upset exactly were we talking there?
Like pretty upset.
Oh, well.
Yeah. They were definitely expecting Doc Ock titties, and they got turtleneck Doc Ock, which was
very much not topless.
Very much not topless. And also non-canonical, because if they're supposed to be getting snatched from the, you know, right before they died, then Doc Ock should have been drowning you know, underneath the sun with his titties out.
Well,
but
just gonna go ahead and call that a big oversight.
Yeah. But there was a couple of things in that didn't make sense, because like also Jamie Foxx's character just looked totally different, and it was like, why?
Yeah, but also like at that point it kind of did feel like they were being like, we can do what we want.
Yeah, they're like, he was gap-toothed and had a comb over, and I mean, it was probably what happened was they're like, hey, Jamie Foxx, want to come back and be Electro? He's like, yeah, but only if I'm sexy. And they're like, oh, okay.
Quick meeting.
Yeah. It's like, I'll do it, but I'm going to look hot.
Nice.
And then I think probably Thomas Hayden Church wasn't available. So they're like, can you just do the voice, and then we'll just make him sand the entire time? But no, it was very, very enjoyable. I am torn to say that it's the best Spider-Man movie ever,
because there's been so many good ones.
Well, there's been some good ones, and also I don't know if it doesn't work. I don't know if it works if you haven't seen the other series. You know what I mean?
Oh, like if you've never seen a different Spider-Man movie?
Yeah, like
was this movie just weird?
Like Tobey Maguire stepping through the portal dressed like a cool youth pastor doesn't mean
it was a good
line. It was so good.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't mean anything to you if you're not familiar with those movies, you know.
Yeah. That's fair.
So I don't know, but I mean at the same time, like I'm less familiar with the Andrew Garfield movies. I think I saw, like I said, the first one I think I saw once, maybe twice. The second one I saw, again, I don't know if I even finished it. So
yeah, I don't remember them very well either.
You know, but I think I actually connected more with his character than with the Tobey Maguire character in this one.
Same. I mean, like they both got like really interesting development and beautiful resolutions.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also didn't remember the horrible, like, not being able to save his love trauma that Andrew Garfield's Spider. I did not remember that at all, and so they introduced it in a pretty organic way.
Yeah.
And enough that I knew when the moment came when Andrew Garfield saved, this universe's MJ, that it meant so much.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a good moment.
And I'm excited for what they do with the next Tom Holland one. It sounds like they've got him locked in for 3 more.
3 more.
3 more.
Wow.
Because where it leaves off with him, nobody remembers that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. No one remembers who Peter Parker is.
Yeah.
When he finishes the movie, he's renting a shitty apartment in Queens, and had to sew his own Spider-Man costume that's literally just some spandex.
Yeah, he's striking out on his own just like the other Spider-Man had to.
Yeah, and that was like, it solved my biggest problem, I think, with the MCU Spider-Man series so far, which is just like, he's got it too good.
Yeah.
In a way, like,
kind of because of Tony Stark.
Tony Stark takes him under his wing,
all the
like
crazy technology.
Yeah, here's your super fancy Spider-Man suit. I mean, they kind of did that in the first one, where they're like, if you're nothing without that suit, then you're nothing at all. And he takes it away from him, and he has to, put on his overalls again, or his hoodie or whatever.
Overalls?
I got overalls on the brain, man. Given what we just watched.
Fair, yeah.
He's got to put on his pajamas and go fight crime again.
Yep.
But yeah, like, the only thing that he made for himself was the web fluid, right? And everything else was given to him by Tony Stark, and then even then, I'm sure Tony Stark
did a bunch of web stuff.
Gave him new web shooters and
probably
all that kind of stuff, right? So, having Tony Stark and MJ kind of be like a composite Uncle Ben, or not MJ, Aunt May. Because Aunt May dies in this one. Again, spoilers if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, like that scene. And as soon as she starts to deliver the line, and you know what she's going to say, and then as soon as she's done saying it, with great power comes great responsibility, everyone in the theater was like,
don't say that. Yeah. You die after you say that.
Everyone knows she's about to die. Oh, it's such a...
Yeah, so...
Oh, I cried.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
cried so hard.
Yeah, it's just... I think it puts him in a good place now, where he's... Because, like, I guess his Uncle Ben died? Maybe?
Yeah, we don't know a lot about it.
We don't know a lot about his origin. I don't know if it was a Stark Industries super radioactive spider or whatever that turned him into a Spider-Man or not.
Probably.
Because, I mean, in the original origin, I believe it's Oscorp.
I think so, yeah.
But Oscorp doesn't exist in this universe, and Willem Dafoe is very sad to find out about. I didn't like that they smashed the Green Goblin mask so quick. You only saw it in like one shot, and then...
Yeah, but also it was like the whole Willem Dafoe thing is all very Jekyll and Hyde, right?
Yeah.
So him smashing the mask was like him trying
to
be Dr. Jekyll, and then for the mask to be smashed and then just to still hear the laughter was wonderfully ominous of just being like, no, you can't get rid of it that easy.
I know, but I think that mask takes a lot of shit, and that's why they decided to trash it.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think so, because there's a whole thing like, oh, he looks like a Power Ranger villain, like,
And that's a bad thing? I'm just kidding.
That was the thing you always heard, right? Or you can see Willem Dafoe's teeth through the mesh in the, you can see his mouth moving behind the mesh in the mask and like all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I loved the way the Green Goblin looked in the original movies. I had no problem with that.
It was dope.
But whatever.
I also do love when he like shows up at the shelter where Aunt May is, and he's just wearing like that shitty green coat and like a purple hoodie.
Yeah.
and the green and purple is just so comic book. Green Goblin.
Yeah.
That was cute.
And then, you know, at the end he gets the shredded hoodie and it's got the purple hood and like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And like, okay, they're leaning into, you know, the comic book Green Goblin kind of thing. So, yeah, I liked that homage too. I would have liked maybe just one more scene with the original Green Goblin mask, because like, you see him riding the glider and he's in like one shot, and then Doctor Strange whisks him out to, you know, somewhere else.
Well,
back to the basement, but yeah, I think I'm excited for where they take Spider-Man in the next one, because I'm like, okay, now this actually feels like real Spider-Man.
Yeah,
It was kind of getting to the point I was trying to make earlier, right? Where it's like, he's lost Uncle Ben, he's lost Tony Stark, he's all on his own.
What's he gonna
do?
I'm super excited to find out.
Got to be Spider-Man. I hope they bring back the guy that was the landlord in Spider-Man 2.
I mean, the
Mr. Dinklage or whatever.
The apartment looks very much the same.
Totally. So like that would be a great, if you're gonna bring back, you know, J. Jonah Jameson and what's his name? That's the character's name.
Yeah, but
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah,
J.K. Simmons and stuff like that. Why not bring back the guy who's got? I
love that he's such a perfect
like
J. Jonah Jameson, that he is J. Jonah Jameson in multiple universes.
Yeah,
that's how perfect he is.
You know, he's got eyes like a rodent or whatever.
Yeah, I love J.K. Simmons.
Spider-Man, No Way Home, very good,
extremely good.
Tough to say if it's the best Spider-Man movie. I've seen a lot of people saying like it's the best Spider-Man movie of all time, and I'm like, I don't know if you can say that, because I don't know if it works on its own.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's the best. Maybe it's the best Spider-Man movie of all time if you've seen all Spider-Man movies.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, as a standalone movie, who knows?
I mean, if you're viewing it as like the it's 8th chapter in a Spider-Man series, because there was 3 Tobey Maguire, 2 Andrew Garfield, 1, 2, 8. If it's chapter 8 in a overall long arcing narrative,
then it's
beautiful. But I don't know if it, you know, I think, I don't know, it definitely works. It's like a nice conclusion to this Tom Holland thread, like storyline. And I think that story works. You don't have to have seen all of the other movies for it to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it's just like, oh, there's other Spider-Men from other dimensions and they look different.
Yeah.
You know, and these are their villains, and yeah, like that bit works. So I don't think like you need to have seen the other ones for the movie to work. I just don't know if it has, like, if my viewing of it is tainted by the fact that I have a strong emotional connection to the originals.
I mean, probably.
It probably, yeah.
Like,
I mean,
there's no way for you
is.
to know. You just need to decide whether or not you think it's the best.
I don't know if it's better than Spider-Man 2, but it is very, very good. And like I said, I think it's probably my favorite of the Tom Holland ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it does work as a nice, like, closing chapter to that storyline.
Yeah.
Even though they're going to go forward and do more, I think it works as a nice little to just put a pin in that storyline, and now they can do like a whole new Spider-Man now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that I was really excited for, to see where they go, and I really like what they did. And I like that they brought in Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock.
Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about that. Because I mean, I don't know how long we want to just spend talking about Marvel on this podcast, but they have Charlie Cox as as Matt Murdock, which I love. I think Daredevil is a super interesting hero, and I love, and again, like they're giving value to these other Spider-Man movies, but then also at the same time kind of winking at, like, hey, remember those Netflix Marvel shows? Yeah. Maybe they still matter too. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think those are like definitively in another universe now, though.
Are they?
I think so.
Interesting.
So the Charlie Cox because those were always kind of like tangential in a way, like they talked about like the incident or the
all
the events in New York.
All of the shows take place in a New York or in a world,
Yeah.
it's mostly New York, after the Avengers movie.
Yeah, but like the Avengers, never talked about the fact that there's dragon bones underneath New York City.
Correct.
Like in the Defenders show,
Yeah.
right? So like and it was produced by Marvel Television, which was headed up by Ike Perlmutter, who like did not play well with Kevin Feige and didn't like him, and so there's like all kinds of behind the scenes stuff that doesn't jive, like
Gotcha.
so they kind of played down the connections as they went on. So I think those are definitely, and I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has definitely been confirmed to be like, yeah, it's a different universe.
No, I haven't seen any of that yet.
Don't bother.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Then I
just
won't.
don't bother.
But then the reason I was curious is because aside from Matthew Murdock in this movie, we also had in the Hawkeye television show,
Yeah.
Kingpin,
Yeah.
come in, who, spoilers for
good.
Hawkeye, may or may not have died at the end. Ooh.
He didn't die. There's
why?
no way.
Why would you bring him in?
You don't see it happen on screen. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, legit. But
Did you like Hawkeye?
ultimately, yes.
Okay.
I think that it started off and I was like, ooh, I like Hawkeye. I like superheroes that are just people.
Yeah.
Which is actually part of why I like Daredevil. I know he has like superheroing and stuff, but he
Yeah.
still had to work his ass off and he
Oh,
gets his
yeah.
ass kicked.
Oh yeah, he's got to get in
Feels
shape.
like a human man. And I appreciate him. But yeah, Hawkeye, kind of like that same level. Super enjoyed it. And then like the middle, I was like kind of meandering a bit, but like, oh, do I really care? Do I really like this main character? Oh, the name escaped me. Shoot.
Kate Bishop.
Right. I just have to imagine.
Elena saying it.
I just have to imagine it. Yeah.
Kate Bishop.
Oh, Kate Bishop, you're so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like kind of annoying for part of it. But ultimately, the way it came together, I just had a lot of fun. I thought it was fun. It was like constantly kind of like winking at itself, being like, this is kind of a cute Christmas special.
Yeah.
But then also, if you care about all of the other Marvel stuff, which I do, then there is a lot of emotional weight to some of the stuff that goes down, especially between Elena and Hawkeye, and like how she kind of hunts him down, but then kind of gets a bit of closure, and there's still room for human emotion there, and ultimately, I had a good time.
I don't know. I thought it was the worst thing that they've done so far in the TV world.
Oh, really?
Did not. I mean, at least in like the Disney Plus era, like just did not. I don't think there was like anything that happened in it that I was like, oh yeah, that's important. And I did not find it entertaining enough to. Like ultimately, I don't even really remember what the plot was.
No.
Like what were they trying to do? They had to go to a ball at the end.
They did, yeah.
I don't know. I was not very. Taken with it. It's like slightly worse than Falcon and the Winter Soldier for me. And Falcon and Winter Soldier was like also kind of ineffectual if you break it down, because it doesn't. It's sort of just like a side story that gets the character to where you already thought he was at the end of Avengers Endgame.
I mean, yeah, you could put it that way.
But it did bring up, like, I liked the whole Isaiah Bradley storyline that they introduced in that, and like that kind of theme to it like elevated it a little bit, because like at the beginning of Hawkeye Winter Soldier I was like, this sucks, I don't want to watch this is dumb. And then yeah,
you just said Hawkeye and the Winter Soldier.
Did I say Hawkeye and the Winter Soldier? Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
They're all birds. And then by the end of it I was like, okay, all right, you know what, you actually did have a point.
Yeah.
And Hawkeye, I was just like, what's the point? Like, I guess, like, good for, like, bringing back Kingpin, but, like, I don't know. I wasn't very taken with it. And I, like, was at the point where I was like, I don't even know if I want to tune in watching more Marvel stuff. And then they dropped a trailer for Moon Knight, starring Oscar Isaac. And that's coming out at the end of March. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so soon. And I love Moon Knight.
See, I don't know anything about Moon Knight, and that trailer scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite. I'll recommend some comics to you. You can find the Warren Ellis miniseries from like 2013, 14, something like that. He did 6 issues. That's really great. It
looks like some psychological craziness.
Moon Knight is a very interesting character. He's got DID,
Oh.
dissociative
Identity
identity
disorder?
So like in the trailer, he's like, all British and calls himself Steven or whatever, and then he answers the phone like, "Why'd you call me Mark?" And at first I was like, "Why are they calling him Steven? His name's Mark Spector. He's Moon Knight." And then, basically like the whole thing with Moon Knight is like he was a mercenary named Mark Spector. He got left for dead in Egypt, and as he was dying underneath the statue of the moon god Khonshu, he had a vision of the moon god coming to him and saying like, "I'm going to give you all the powers of the moon," or whatever.
Whoa.
And you're going to fight crime.
Better than death.
Something like that. Basically, yeah. It's like, you're going to be my, my vessel. But there's like this whole...
I wish Oscar Isaacs was my vessel.
You're not alone. There's this whole... Also, he does like a really good British accent, which I did not think he could. I've never heard him do that.
Yeah, I don't think I have.
But he's an amazing actor, so I don't know why I doubted him.
He's great.
But I can't remember what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, so there's this whole question then about like because like Khonshu speaks to him and stuff like that, and so there's this whole question like, does he actually see the moon god Khonshu, or is he just like kind of losing it a little bit? And like he could be a guy with moon god powers and that kind of stuff, but then also he could just kind of be a little
unhinged,
a little unwell in the mind.
Interesting.
So
spooky.
Yeah, he's a real interesting character, and I like Moon Knight a lot, and I'm very excited for that.
Awesome.
So, they got me back for one more at least, but I don't know. I might be out for She-Hulk.
Oh, She-Hulk? Is it? I'm not up. I don't read news very much.
They're doing She-Hulk. I think is coming this year, and Ms. Marvel I think is happening this year, which could be interesting because they're basing it on the Kamala Khan version and not the Carol Danvers version, because they already did Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But that's enough Marvel talk.
It's been a lot of Marvel talk.
Yeah.
We can't help it. It's ingrained into our podcast at this point.
It is.
We always gotta talk about the new Marvel stuff.
And we'll talk about Book of Boba Fett, I think, once it's all done. Yeah.
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 Cool. I have thoughts on it.
Me too.
Yeah. But
we'll hold off.
Yeah. We'll get into that. Let's the reason that we're all here is to discuss Stupid Mario Brothers, the movie.
World, another dimension, the universe next door. An alternate world separated by time and space, and yet somehow joined and contiguous with our home.
Mario Brothers Plumbing. No leak too small. No. Don't touch it. No. It's not a big problem. Just leave it to the professionals. We'll be right there. Luigi, we got a broken dishwasher at the Riverfront Cafe. You know what that means? Yeah. We got Mike.
It's a movie that
Exists.
It's a movie that probably shouldn't exist.
Ooh, yep.
If we're being honest, and it's
not
the
even
movie,
a hot take.
It's the movie that killed Nintendo's willingness to ever let anyone do anything with their characters ever again.
And fair.
Yeah, like I don't know. I guess there was like the only other thing I can think of that's like a Nintendo non-video game properties. Pokemon doesn't really count, I don't think.
No.
Because it is owned by Nintendo, but also separate.
I think it is.
They have their own.
It is its own entity. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But like the only other thing I can think of was like the Super Mario Brothers cartoon hour thing that they did, which had like it was like in the early 90s, but that might have even been before this. It had like the old Legend of Zelda cartoons.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I've heard they're awful.
Yes, I have never seen a full one. I've seen like clips, I think Nintendo kind of keeps them buried for a reason. But yeah, so
that was
this was the last straw for that, and fair enough. Yeah,
Yep.
They gave the producers full creative freedom to do whatever they wanted, and they thought Blade Runner.
Boy, did they ever. Okay.
Blade Runner and Mad Max.
Yeah. So I guess we should attempt to break down the plot for those who have not seen Super Mario Bros. The movie.
But let's do an overview of the plot, because there's a lot of things I want to nitpick.
Okay. Wait.
Like, I don't know if we need to go scene by scene for this one or not.
No, I'm pretty sure I can sum it up. I think I remember what happens.
Yeah.
At least at the beginning, and then at the end, something happened in the middle. Don't know.
A lot of stuff happened in the middle that wasn't necessary.
I mean, I did get up a few times and did not bother pausing it.
No.
It was just painful. But anyway, we start off great. The first 3 seconds of this movie, fantastic. Starts off with the Super Mario theme song in its like
full 8-bit glory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have a pixel animation intro.
Yeah, narrated by Dan Castellaneta.
Yeah. So far we're doing great.
Yeah.
And it's about dinosaurs. And I'm like, ooh, interesting. Dinosaurs. What's this about? And then basically the narrator saying 65 million years ago, there were dinosaurs and everything was chill. Then a meteorite comes and kills them all. But what if, instead of killing them all, it actually made a separate universe where all the dinosaurs went into the other universe instead of dying, and they've been evolving there for 65 million years. Wouldn't that be crazy? Ooh.
Yeah. And so it's like the idea is dinosaurs then evolved into humans, basically.
Yeah, which, no.
They're still evolved from reptiles. But they still look like humans. And then Mario and Luigi are real-world New York plumbers in our universe.
Yep.
And they meet Princess Daisy, who's not a princess. She was abandoned on the steps of she was an egg that was abandoned on the steps of a church, and then some nuns watched it hatch.
And then a baby came out.
The baby came out, and they were like, oh, dear Lord.
Which, like, let's be real. A bunch of nuns see a baby hatch from an egg.
They're thinking, oh, this is the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come.
That baby's going to end up in the East River so fast. But
Oosh, that's a different kind of movie.
Yeah. So they meet Daisy, who's excavating some dinosaur bones, and, she takes Luigi down there and is like, look,
dinosaur bones,
but they like have hands.
Yeah,
and he's like,
these are new species.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, that's crazy. And then
basically.
And then they get attacked by some Koopa kids who are just humans with bad haircuts, and they get sent into the Mushroom Kingdom through a magical dimension.
Yeah, does anyone call it the Mushroom Kingdom?
Yeah, Dennis Hopper calls it the Mushroom Kingdom at one point.
Okay.
Because he turned the king into a mushroom using a de-evolution gun. And so the plot basically is Dennis Hopper is King Koopa, and he wants to get this piece of the meteorite back that like Daisy wears as a necklace. He wants to get
it was left with her as a baby.
Yeah.
Or as an egg.
As an egg. And he wants to get her back so that he can put the final piece of the meteorite together and merge the two universes into one.
So that he can rule the other universe. Because his sucks.
Yeah, his planet is basically desert and then like New York City, but
Blade Runner.
but Blade Runner, and
yeah, it's dystopian future. Only one city exists. The rest is desert.
And then the Mario brothers have to just save the day.
Yep.
They don't know what's going on.
They don't.
It's baffling
That's a good word for it.
And there's so many choices that have been made that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
And there's so many choices that were made that are like, you could have just made the opposite choice and it would have been better. Like, one of the things you brought up was they keep putting Luigi in red.
Yeah, he wears red so much. Including, we were introduced to them.
Yeah.
And first of all, Mario in his 40s?
Yeah, easily. Mario, played by... First of all, we should say, this cast is like a character actor's, like, fucking playground. Like, you got Bob Hoskins playing Mario, who everyone will probably know as Eddie Valiant from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yep.
And Mr. Smee in Hook.
I forgot about that.
Those are probably like his two most popular roles. You got John the Legs Leguizamo playing Luigi Mario, because their names are Mario and Luigi Mario.
As canonized by this film, yes.
Oh my gosh. Playing Luigi. So you got a British man and a Colombian man, neither of whom are Italian-American, playing Italian-Americans.
Why?
And yeah, he's wearing red all throughout the movie.
Except for when he's wearing bright yellow.
Yeah. And sometimes he's just wearing like a dirty baseball jersey, and like how hard would it be to just like put him in like a green shirt?
Yeah.
And Mario just wears like a red shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone would have been on board.
You don't have to do the outfits. Like, they do the outfits at the very end.
Yeah, when it's not celebrated nearly enough.
No.
It feels like when you hold in a sneeze for a long time, and then just like
and then it goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
It's like, okay, like the sneeze is gone, but also, come on.
Yeah, because there's like a shot where they're like, we need some disguises, and they like open up a locker, like, here we go, and there's just a shot of them like standing in an elevator, and they're not really doing anything heroic. They're just kind of like looking around at each other, and then the doors close.
Yeah, and it's like kind of like scanning up them, but it doesn't even finish scanning up them,
No.
and the doors close. Like we didn't get nearly enough of that action shot.
Very, very bad filmmaking all around.
Also, can I just say right off the bat, first thing I noticed. Luigi, no mustache. Why?
Oh yeah, he doesn't have a mustache.
No.
They both should have had mustaches.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so like Mario's in like his 40s, and then Luigi looks like he's like what, early 20s or something? He's just like some punk kid.
He's like 25 to 30 range.
And clean shaven.
And he's clean shaven, and it's also unclear whether or not they're actually brothers. There's a scene where they're talking about how Mario, when Daisy, who's blonde,
yep.
Again, how hard would it be to run to the drugstore and just get a box of hair dye or cast a brunette? But like, if you're really sold on this actress, you can dye her hair blonde. I don't know, whatever. So
yeah, and also just before you,
yeah.
Like they're at a double date where it's
that's where I was going with this.
It's Luigi and Daisy, who are like supposed to be a couple, and then it's Mario. Kind of,
even though they just met.
Well, I mean, like in the Mario world, that's kind of...
Oh, in the Mario world, there are a couple. Yeah.
And then it's Mario with a woman that has not been introduced to us at all.
Yeah.
Who were like, is that supposed to be Peach? And then we learn it later that is, in fact, Daniela.
Daniela, that's her name. I want to say Dominique? That's not right.
Who the fuck is that?
I don't know. But she's brunette.
Yeah.
It's like, how... There's like a real simple thing you could do to not fuck this up. I don't know. And then, yeah. There was another thing.
She's talking about being an orphan, and she's talking about it in a really weird way. Like they should have known.
Yeah.
It was like, I was abandoned as a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was left at the.
Yeah, I grew up at St. Catherine's or whatever.
Yeah, I grew up at St. Catherine's. Like you don't know that. It was an odd choice.
It's very weird, but yeah, and then Luigi's like, oh yeah, that's like like me, Mario. Basically, he's been my mother and my father and my brother and everything. He's raised me since I was a little boy.
Yep, making the dynamic way more confusing than it already was.
Yeah, yeah.
What is happening there?
Yeah.
So they're not brothers. Are they not related at all? But also, he's Luigi's father.
It's unclear if like they are brothers and like both their parents died and so Mario had to raise Luigi, or if he just like took him in as like an orphan. I don't know. It's very
No clue.
very confusing. But in the end, does it matter?
No.
No.
In the end, none of the things that we've been saying matter.
Yeah.
We can be really nitpicky about it, and we can come across as really nitpicky, but ultimately, if all of the things that we had just said were rectified, this would still be a terrible movie.
Yeah. So like the Blade Runner aesthetic for the Mushroom Kingdom is fucking baffling.
Yeah. What?
I'm not familiar with the whole like lore of Mario.
Is there lore?
I don't know. Like I know he lives in the Mushroom Kingdom. He is a plumber.
Is he though? I don't think that there's Mario lore to the same extent that there's like Legend of Zelda lore.
No, but I think there's like basic things. I'm pretty sure he was a plumber from the get-go. At least I don't know if like when he was Jumpman, I don't know, like in Donkey Kong, I don't know if he was a plumber.
I don't think any thought had been put in.
No,
at that
it's
point.
just a guy in overalls, and then they're like, "Why is he wearing overalls though?" Because he's a plumber. Even though plumbers very famously have pants that continue to fall down.
Yes, I don't like. That's not even a thing.
I don't know.
Plumbers, yeah, they show their crack. Who wears overalls? Mechanics
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they wear coveralls.
Coveralls, right?
Farmers wear overalls.
Farmers, yeah. So he should have been.
He should have been a farmer.
Should have been a farmer.
But whatever. He's a plumber. Well, it's because he comes out of pipes.
Just like plumbers do.
Just as you know.
There is actually a line in the movie where they've lost Daisy and they're in underground tunnels and they hear her voice and Luigi's like, "We gotta go this way. I heard her." And Mario's like, "No, stupid. That's the echo. We need to go this way. Trust me. I've been living in pipes for years."
That's right.
And we're like, "Wait, what? You fix like sinks and dishwashers and stuff. Why have you been in pipes? Like,
doesn't make any
in
sense.
large enough pipes to hear echoes to understand?" No, doesn't make sense.
No.
Got to laugh at me though.
It did. Yeah. There's a couple things that. There's one scene that broke me.
Oh,
Absolutely broke me. So when they arrive in the Mushroom Kingdom, Daisy has been wearing, the necklace with the last piece of the meteor around her neck, and King Koopa wants it. King Koopa, played by Dennis Hopper, another famous character actor.
yes.
Maybe the most famous character actor.
And also, King Koopa's like right hand person is Mrs. Dursley.
Oh yeah, Mrs. Dursley. Yeah.
Who?
But she's dressed like Glenn Close from Hocus Pocus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Very much so. And fun fact, the end credit song in this movie was originally written for Hocus Pocus and then not used, and they just threw it on this movie instead.
Oh, really?
Which is why
It
has the line, "Put that Hocus Pocus on me."
That makes a lot of sense then.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird.
And whoever made the movie was just like, fuck it, just throw this in.
At this point,
We already recorded it, we got to use it for something.
Wow, that is
yeah.
special.
So, yeah, he wants the
Meteorite.
crystal and the last bit of the meteorite, and Luigi grabbed it off of Daisy's neck before she got pulled through the portal by the Koopas. And so they get into town, and then they end up getting mugged.
Yeah.
They show up in town, and a lady stops them in the tree. She's like, "Don't you have any weapons on you? You gotta have weapons on you. It's not safe."
She's like an old lady, and she's like playing the innocent act.
Yeah, she's like, "It's not safe around here. You gotta have weapons." And they're like, "No, we don't have any." She's like, "Oh, good." And then like whips out a huge gun.
Yeah, it's massive.
And like starts mugging them, and then another big giant black lady in a red unitard, like leather.
It's a one piece.
Yeah, one piece bodysuit.
Sparkly. It's got some spikes on it.
Got some spikies on
pretty,
it.
like dominatrixy. It's pretty
Very
intense.
dominatrixy.
Yeah.
So
in moon boots. Did you mention the moon boots already?
Not yet.
Cool.
We'll get there. So she takes the crystal from them because she's like,
she like picks up the old lady. And throws her off a balcony.
Yeah, and then it's like, "This is my thing now," and then she jumps away using her jump boots, which are like rocket powered
moon boots.
Moon boots, because they gotta, I guess, explain why Mario can jump so high.
Is
Like,
that why? I never put that together.
High enough to jump on a Goomba? Well, because this thing is jumping, right? Like, he jumps on top of things to kill them.
Yeah, in the video game that does happen.
And
Did not come across in the movie at all that would have been the reason that they introduced those boots. That never crossed my mind.
Oh, that's what I figured. I'm like, oh, because he jumps. Okay, I get it. But he can't just be good at jumping. Like, they can't just be like less gravity and the.
No, too easy. Too easy.
So his like earth muscles are extra strong, and he can jump higher than the weak gravity, lizard people. I don't know. So, anyways, they got to get this thing back, right? They strike a deal with after a big dumb chase scene ends with them ending up in the desert. They kidnap the Koopas, and they strike a deal with them. They're like, all right, we'll help you get the crystal back, or if you give us Daisy. Yeah, right. And so they're like, that seems fine, because King Koopa put them through a de-evolutionizer machine and like made them smarter, because I guess it works both ways.
Yeah. He's
been making Goombas.
Yeah, which aren't little armless brown mushroomy looking people.
Yeah.
They are just
Dinosaurs?
really large shouldered dinosaur people with tiny
heads, yeah.
Who have been
and he turns
regressed.
Toad into one. Yeah, they've been regressed to dinosaur. They've been de-evolutionized because they evolved from dinosaurs in this universe. So they've been de-evolutioned to dinosaur men. And he takes Toad, who is a punk-rocking busker in this one, not a mushroom person.
No.
But he does wear a vest.
Yep.
They got that right.
He's
got a jean vest.
Bare minimum, yeah. But we don't see him in it for long, because then he gets turned into a Goomba.
He's turned into a Goomba with a harmonica.
Yep.
And that's the only reason that you know it's Toad, is because he still has the harmonica. And it makes sound when he breathes. So, he like makes them a bit smarter, and they're like, yes, we know a lady that took your thing. There was a good joke. There was like the one good joke in the movie, and now I've forgotten it.
Oh.
It's something along the lines of like, there was this big lady that came and took our crystal, and they're like, is she rotund?
Oh no, they start describing the lady with like the red suit and the jumping boots, and Iggy is like, copulent? Was she copulent? And Luigi's like, no, but she was real round.
Yeah, that's what it was. So they throw on some suits, which are ladies' suits. Apparently, because one of them belonged to Iggy's ex-wife.
Or something like that?
Something like that. And again, Luigi's in a red suit, and Mario's in a yellow suit.
Why?
It's just it's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
And they just didn't do it.
Come on.
I don't know why. I mean,
like, if it the thing is, like, it would not matter to me if they were both just wearing wrong colors.
Yeah.
But the fact that there was a red suit and they put Luigi in it baffles me.
Yeah, and they've frequently been giving him a red, he wears a red baseball cap through a lot of the movie and like stuff like that. It's like,
wearing so much red.
What is happening?
And like, were they doing it intentionally? Were they just trying to piss me off?
I don't know. Well, I don't think like video games were not taken anywhere near as seriously as they're taken now, right? And like gamers definitely weren't. It was like dumb things for kids, right? Like it was for little kids. Adults didn't care about this, so they're like, kids aren't gonna care if he's wearing green, purple, blue, or little did they know those pink satin.
Those kids would grow up and care way too much,
way too fucking much. So here we are complaining about it.
Yeah, what year was this again?
You done fucked up. 1993.
93.
This movie's almost as old as we are.
And we hated it.
Yeah. So, this was the scene that broke me. They find the lady, whose name I think is Big Bertha.
Actually?
In the credits. I'm going to look it up real quick.
I guess, yeah, when they are talking with Iggy and Spike, the Koopa kids, and they like describe her and they recognize the description, they do give the name, but I totally forgot.
Big Bertha.
Big Bertha. Wow.
And so she's there in her bright red
has not changed.
Latex dominatrix outfit,
Yep.
And she's like a full foot taller than Mario.
Oh, easily.
Like and I don't know if that's just because she's got like 15-inch heels on or what, or like platform boots, but
her moon boots.
she's got her moon boots on. Oh yeah, I guess so. Anyway, she's like a full head taller than them, and they start doing this like sexy dance.
Yeah, Mario's plan is to seduce her.
Yeah, so he goes up to her and he's like, hey, and like tries to like put on the charm, and she punches him in the face.
Fully punches him in the face.
And then he is like, okay, I am going to take a different approach here. And his approach seems to be, I am short, step on me, mommy. Yeah. Because he goes up to her and he's like, excuse me, would you punch me in the face again? I really liked it. The feeling of your knuckles against the skin on my face, they're so smooth and soft, and it just felt so right. And she's like, oh.
And she like roughly grabs him by the collar and is like, dance with me.
Yeah. And then they start doing this like super sexual dance where he's constantly trying to get the necklace. Like he dips her at one point and then like just shoves his face in between her boobs and like grabs the necklace with his teeth.
And it's not small, by the way. This piece of meteor is not small.
It's pretty
fills
big.
Up his mouth.
Yeah. And then she kind of like looks at him and he's like, oh, and like spits it back out. And then they're doing like a tango thing. And he's got like his hand behind her neck and he's like fiddling with the thing and
trying to untie
it. And it's just like this like really weird, overly sexual dance.
By the way, like they're plumbers. There's been a lot of stuff about pipes. We've been making sexual jokes throughout the entire movie.
Getting your pipes cleaned and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and like
even there's been the occasional line by Mario that I'm just like, that's overtly sexual.
Yeah.
But they didn't mean it to be.
No.
But then all of a sudden, this happens, and it is overtly sexual.
It's very sexual. There's like
didn't see it coming.
Definitely like someone on the production had like he must have been, someone whoever wrote this must have been like super short and like had a thing for tall women and like had like a mommy kink, because like it's like that's what's coming across here is like this.
Yeah,
it's a very like BDSM
oh yeah,
step on me mommy. That's all I can think of. That's the only way I can describe it.
And like whenever you think of step on me mommy, what's the next thing you think of? Super Mario Bros.
Super Mario Bros. Of course, yeah. But that's what broke me. Like I lost my mind. I was like, this is a Super Mario movie. And I'm watching this ridiculously sexy tango scene with like a huge, tall dominatrix woman who's like, she's also thick and like, I'm sure there was a ton of 10-year-old kids who just like had a lot of questions about themselves after watching this movie back in 1993, going like, why? I was aroused by this and why? Or like, what are these feelings that I'm suddenly feeling?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just could barely breathe. You just died laughing.
It was so funny.
The realization of it. This is Super Mario Bros.
Yeah, and then, what does she call him later? My little... Pudgy butt or something like that? Like...
Yeah, or Pudgy Buns.
Pudgy Buns, that's what it is. She's like, you want to get out of here? He's like, come here, my little pudgy buns. And then she kisses him and she's like, if you want to get out of here, use the jump boots. And then they put on the jump boots and then they jump out with milk cartons over their heads. Or milk crates.
Milk crates, yeah. Just smash the windows.
Smash the windows.
Yeah.
Fucking baffling, man.
I don't know. The fact that this exists.
The fact that it exists.
Yeah.
Like, I don't... What's astounding to me is that someone looked at the Mario video games with all the bright colors and, like, the fun little creatures, and they were like, none of that. The only thing we're going to keep is the Bob-omb, and it's going to be a tiny little wind-up toy that takes forever to explode. And that's the only thing we're keeping. We'll put them in a red hat at some point, I guess. But, like...
Yeah.
And he's got a mustache.
Like the most accurately represented character in this movie was actually Yoshi, who is just a little dinosaur.
Yeah, it's a little tiny baby T-Rex
who has
yellow.
Yeah, it has a long tongue.
Yeah.
And uses that to his advantage at 2 points in the movie.
Yeah. It would have been a lot better if he was a little bit bigger, if he was green, and if Daisy had like ridden him out at one point.
That would have made a lot more sense.
Because he helps her escape.
How did Yoshi escape? Yoshi's like manacled to the wall. He's like he's the royal pet. I guess he was the Mushroom King's pet.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe she unties him or unshackles him because he uses his tongue to help get her free.
He uses his tongue to stop Mrs. Dursley from like killing her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she books it.
Yeah.
Leaving him there. And then Yoshi gets stabbed in the neck.
With a high-heeled shoe.
With a high-heeled shoe. We see him later and he appears fine. But I did leave that scene wondering, did they just kill Yoshi? Did Mrs. Dursley just kill Yoshi?
Thankfully, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's... I don't even know how to explain, like, what happens in this movie. Like, there's a car chase... Yeah. With like this like Mad Max-esque like police car that's built on like a Dodge Charger or something like that, and it's got like a freaking like plow in the front of it.
Yep.
To like break through things, but that's also like powered by electricity. They've got these like antenna, which are like the parallel I drew was like to the buses in Vancouver.
Yeah, it felt a lot like that.
Yeah, if you've ever been to Vancouver, all the buses in that city are powered by electricity, and there's cables that run along the street that the buses have these two antennas that they connect to that way.
But also, these cars just had antennas sticking up.
Yeah.
I don't think there were any cables.
There were sometimes. I think, because like...
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, we watched it on VHS, so it's hard to tell.
True.
Sometimes, but like I thought I saw it like hitting cables, and that's why the antennas were sparking. But like
everything was sparking.
But
all
everything
the
was
time
sparking
in
all the
that
time.
City.
They did a lot of plumbing in this movie, though.
Yes, that is true.
That is like the one thing that they're like, all right, they're plumbers. We got to make sure that the plumbing is a main feature in the plot of the film.
Yeah.
And so like they use their plumbing skills to stop their rival plumbing company from flooding out the dig site.
Yep. And
they use their plumbing skills to turn off all the heat in the building.
Yep.
They shut off all the. It just goes on and on and on. Like everything.
Specifically Mario, by the way. Mario is a master plumber.
Yeah.
Uses those skills on multiple occasions. Luigi not so much, but Luigi just has like a sixth sense for what to do.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, we need to go this way.
Like, trust me, I got a good feeling about this.
Oh, I need to grab this mushroom.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, and then there's fungus, which kind of just looks like a bunch of dirty bed sheets hanging all over the place.
Yes.
This movie gives off a lot of like New Line Cinema vibes.
Yes.
Like I had to go check to see if it was a New Line movie.
Just to make sure.
But it was like, yeah, if you know what I mean by that, like you know what I mean. Like, and if you don't, I can't really explain it to you, other than like go watch some of the Nightmare on Elm Street sequels and like the Ninja Turtles movies, and you'll kind of know what I'm talking about.
Yes, the Ninja Turtles movies.
Are there any New Line? Oh, Mortal Kombat was a New Line Cinema movie from the 90s that we watched. So that's, it had a lot of those kind of vibes.
On par.
Yeah.
Woof. So yeah, Mrs. Dursley gets the meteorite and then tries to merge the worlds, assuming that King Koopa too, assumes that if they're the ones to merge the worlds, they'll just rule over the new world. I don't know where the logic is that, but Miss Dursley tries, and the meteorite electrocutes her and then shoots her into the wall, and she becomes kind of like a fossil, or...
Well, she becomes a skeleton. She basically is turned into a skeleton immediately, but she does briefly merge the two worlds, in which case Koopa and Mario show up
at the dig site. And I guess it's like the mayor of New York or something is there. No, it was the president of the rival plumbing company.
Right. Anyways, yeah, and he shoots him with a de-evolution gun, and he just turns into a chimpanzee.
Yep.
And everyone there's like, that's so funny. He turned into a monkey. And you were like, if that happened in real life, no one would be laughing.
No way!
Everyone would be so scared.
Someone just got turned into a monkey by someone who materialized out of thin air. People would be running and screaming, not laughing. Yes, the monkey's cute. You would not stop to notice.
You really wouldn't.
I called bullshit.
Yeah. So
But then Luigi and Daisy
they undo it.
get the shard back out using plumbing tools.
Using plumbing tools, yeah. It's the one time that's Luigi's character arc, is he learns
Yes.
that plumbing is important and how to do plumbing good.
Yep.
So they use some plumbing tools and they pull the shard of the meteorite out, and then Koopa and Mario get sent back to the Mushroom Kingdom, even though like Mario technically belongs in the real world. So why does he come back?
I
It's
guess
unclear.
people are just put back where they were before the merge.
I
or
guess so.
something.
And then
We
the
don't
bob
have
bomb
to
goes off
Yeah,
and kills King Koopa.
but it doesn't really kill him at all.
No.
He's fine, but then
Oh yeah, right. He doesn't die, but then Mario.
the
and
Mario
Luigi-
Bros. Use the de-evolution guns on him, and he starts to turn into a T-Rex. And I was hoping for a T-Rex battle.
Like he was gonna be Bowser.
I was hoping for Bowser to happen.
Yeah.
Bowser never comes up.
No.
He turns into a dinosaur that is not very T-Rex looking briefly
Yeah.
before turning into primordial ooze.
Yeah. He turns back into that primordial soup. This kind of splashes on the ground.
Yep.
Was Bowser part of the original games? Or did he not show up until like Super Mario 64?
Oh, that's a good question, because Super Mario 64 was my first Mario game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more like, honestly, the most experience I have with Mario games is like Mario Kart and Mario Party.
Right.
I never really played Super Mario 64 too much. I played a little bit of Super Mario Sunshine.
Ooh, I loved me some Super Mario Sunshine.
Which is good.
That was a good one.
But yeah, never really played too much Super
Yeah,
Mario 64. I was just late to the game on
I'm
it.
pretty sure Bowser was in Super Mario Bros, but now you've got me wondering if I'm wrong, and it was just King Koopa
Yeah.
who was like a big dinosaur and not necessarily Bowser. But also, I think Bowser's called King Koopa sometimes.
Is he?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Is there anything else we missed?
Oh, probably.
That's important enough to talk
Oh,
about?
that's important. No, definitely not.
Oh yeah, Bowser and King Koopa are the same.
Okay, that's what
character,
I thought. Yeah. They were calling him King Koopa. He had a horrible, terrible hairstyle that was kind of reminiscent of the spikes on Bowser's head.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no,
But he was just a person. Also, I just had a thought.
it's just Dennis Hopper. What's
The
that?
original Super Mario artwork for Super Mario Bros. Mario is in white.
Oh, yes, that is true.
When did he get the red?
I don't remember.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, he was white. I think it used to be like when you get the fire flower, then you turn red or something like that. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong.
No, I think when you get the fire flower, you turn white.
Oh, was it?
I think so. I
Hmm.
think the 8-bit model had yeah, I think the 8-bit Mario model had the red and blue bit, and then when you got the fire flower, then you turned white and red.
Well, either way, there were no fire flowers in this movie.
No, there wasn't.
There was very little anything that made sense for Super Mario Bros. The fuck was this movie?
I don't know. I think it was an attempt to make like a fun like action adventure like kids movie. But then like why set it in like the dystopian Blade Runner future? And also like I don't know if it was just like they were like, oh, maybe that's like cheaper to do than to like create like the whole like Mushroom Kingdom. Maybe like people wouldn't take it seriously if it looked like that.
Oh yeah,
Which,
they
like-
definitely needed people to take it seriously.
Which is like fair, because I think like if you start doing that in live action, it would be very easy to look like a shitty like children's show.
Yeah,
you know. So I think it's fair to not want to do that, but then like also like just do it as animation.
Yeah.
It's like it
Jeez.
lends itself to a cartoon.
Obviously. Easy
So
choice.
I don't know why. And also here's the extra baffling thing. It's the company that made this is Hollywood Pictures, which is a subsidiary of the Walt Disney Company.
That's right.
So like you've got, you know, the Disney company's producing this. They're the kings of animation.
Yep.
Why not do a cartoon?
I don't
what
know.
like Mario could have been a Disney cartoon.
That would have been amazing.
And it could have been a classic.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine living in that world? The
Well-
classic Disney cartoon Super Mario Bros.
We're getting another Mario movie coming up.
Wait, what?
It is animated. It's being produced by the same studio that did Despicable Me.
Oh.
They're making the next
Interesting.
Super Mario movie. And
Huh.
Mario is going to be voiced by everyone's favorite Italian actor. No, it's not Leonardo DiCaprio. Chris Pratt is doing the voice of Mario.
Chris Pratt is doing the voice of Mario.
He's not Italian, by the way.
No.
At least as much as I know. Maybe he's got some Italian in him. I don't know.
But, like, doesn't the original voice of Mario still live?
Yes, he is alive, but also I don't want that.
Chris Martinet. That's his name.
Because, like, if there was, like, 2 hours of going, like, oh, it's me, Mario.
Okay, that's true. Yeah.
Woo!
A full-length movie that would get
Like,
old.
that would get fucking old, you know?
That's true. I hope that he at least cameos in it, though.
Yeah, he's got to do something. They got to give him another voice part or something. But, like, also, I don't want Chris Pratt to sound like, or Mario to sound like, you know, just a guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That
Like,
also, I don't know what they're going to do with that.
like, I think of Chris Pratt's voice roles, and I'm thinking, like, the Lego movie. You know? Like,
Oh, yeah. So, I might, I don't know. I might not watch that.
I'm definitely going to watch it.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, probably not, like, in the theaters.
Like, probably not pay to watch it.
I doubt I'd pay to watch it.
I gotcha.
But I'm very curious.
I guess just having had this experience, I have no faith at all
Yeah.
in seeing a Mario movie ever again.
Fair enough. I mean, so we've done a number of video game movies on this show. We've done Resident Evil, Tomb Raider, Mortal Kombat.
It's a big one, yeah.
Sure, there's another one that I can't remember. I mean, now Mario. I don't know why you would choose Mario as the one to adapt. I mean, this was the first ever video game adaptation.
That's right, yeah.
First
the
ever
very
live
first
action
one.
movie based on a video game.
Wow.
And I guess maybe it's just because Mario was the highest selling video game at that point. You know, it's 1993.
Probably.
The NES is like in full swing.
Yeah.
The Super Nintendo might even be out by this point. I'm not sure. But, you know.
Oh, it might be actually, yeah.
It might be like just coming out.
Maybe.
But anyways, you know, so Mario's like hot shit. So I guess they're thinking like, oh, if we just put Mario in a movie, like we'll make him, you know.
Doesn't matter what he does.
Yeah, we'll make $1 billion, and it didn't. They lost about 10 million on this.
That sounds about right.
Cost about 48 million. They only made 38 at the box office, and that's not factoring in advertising. So they lost probably closer to 20-30 million.
Yeah. Yeah. That tracks.
And it scared Nintendo so bad that they never let anyone do anything with their shit ever again until this.
Wow, so
New
that's
animated
kind of
movie.
a big deal that there's a Mario movie.
Yeah, and Nintendo is heavily involved.
Right, yes. Instead of, do what you want.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what the thought process was behind this movie. It's truly astounding. It's I'm baffled. I'm upset by it.
There was one thing I appreciated about the movie, and that's the like inorganic forced romance between Luigi and Daisy. At the end, they don't get together.
Yeah.
Daisy decides to stay in the world that she came from.
Yeah.
To try to like help it, and the Mario Bros go back. alone. And I was
Yeah.
like, cool. That's a strong choice. I appreciate that. And then the movie goes to them, and they're, having spaghetti.
Of course.
Of course, as a Mario will do. Mario and Daniela, who's just there. We don't know anything about her still. And Luigi's looking all sad.
He doesn't even call her like My Little Peach or anything like
I thought
that.
for sure that he was going to drop that, but as
Like
a little
cute little nickname.
pet name. Yeah. Nope.
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Fuck. But then all of a sudden, like, they're about to eat, and then Daisy just busts through the door looking all Mad Max and is like, I need your help. Something's wrong. And Luigi's like, what? And she's like, something bad. You'll never believe it. And Mario's like, I believe it. And then they grab their tool belts, which are hanging on hooks by the door.
Yeah.
And that's how the movie ends.
Yeah. On a freeze frame of her.
Oh yeah, freeze from her, like a not flattering freeze frame of her.
And then the song that wasn't in Hocus Pocus plays
Yep.
over the credits and gets the first credit.
Oh yeah,
Like it fades to black, and then the song starts playing, and then the credit for like this song by Roxette.
yep. Which is a weird choice.
It's very weird.
What was up with that?
I don't know.
It's like, by the way, this is the song that you're listening to.
Maybe they're like really
And
trying
into the credits.
Yeah, maybe they're like really trying hard to like sell the single, the ka-single.
The ka-single. Love it.
So
Jeez, yeah, that's. Yeah. I got nothing.
do you recommend this movie
Nope.
to people? Okay.
Nope. I think we're gonna go ahead and just call that one big pile of shit.
That is one big pile of shit.
I got nothing else to say about that. Like, yes, you laughed so hard that you almost died, but I think it's because you were actually dying and not because it was funny.
I was baffled. I was actually baffled that what I was seeing was happening, and let alone like not just happening, but happening in a Super Mario movie.
Yeah.
So
Confusing to no end.
I feel like you should see it
Really? You're
in a way. Like
gonna recommend people watch this?
no, like I don't like not because it's good, but like I don't know. Maybe not. There's a part of me that's like you should see this so that you know like what's out there, but I don't know if I can do it.
No, don't do it.
I think I'll say it's one big pile of shit.
Yes.
I don't know if I'd ever watch it again.
I definitely never want to watch it ever again.
And yet somehow I feel like I will end up watching it again at some point.
That's kind of how your life goes.
It really is. Oh, apparently that Mario movie's coming out this year.
Ooh.
Maybe we should have saved it for when that movie comes out.
Too late.
In theaters 2022. Yeah, it doesn't say. What do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score was?
Ooh. 22.
Very, very, very close.
Ooh.
It's 28%.
28. Oh, that was pretty close.
Yeah. Oh, the one thing we forgot to mention is that this movie has a score by Alan Silvestri.
Oh, yeah.
Legendary Back to the Future, Predator, Avengers composer Alan Silvestri.
Yeah. Done beautiful, sweeping, enigmatic, and exciting scores. He did this movie. I don't remember the music at all. Oh, except for that one tune that we were like, is this in Home Alone?
I don't think it is because Home Alone was John Williams, actually, thinking back to it.
Oh, right. But yeah, it sounded
But
really
it's in
familiar.
something like that. It's been
Yeah.
reused in something else, and I don't know what it is. I will put it in very, very low underneath this as I'm talking here in case someone knows it and can leave it in the comments or send us an email because I don't want to get demonetized on YouTube because we got in some trouble for playing that Happy Happy Halloween song.
Oh, right. Whatever.
Whatever. Yeah. So that's Super Mario Brothers, the movie. Don't watch it. It's bad.
Yep.
Okay. That's the show for them this month.
We did it.
We sure did, didn't we?
We did.
We will be back next month with another movie. And until then, do you want to know what we're watching?
Yeah, I'd like to know what's on the docket for February.
February. We were watching a movie called Valentine,
Oh.
which is a 90s horror slasher movie. I think it stars David Boreanaz, who people might know as Angel from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and some other people. And I think it's directed by the same guy that made Urban Legend.
Okay.
I'd never heard of it. I found the DVD at a thrift store, and I'm like, oh, perfect.
Perfect. February.
February is settled then.
We'll make some steak, we'll bake some cake, and we'll
Yeah.
watch a Valentine.
Absolutely. Steak and cake and Valentine, and we'll have it out. I'm not going to say that we'll have it out in time for Valentine's Day. I don't want to make that promise.
Nah, fuck that. We'll just see how life goes.
Yeah, we'll just do it. But yeah, that's the show for this month. We'll be back next month with Valentine. You can find us on the interwebs. All of our links are at linktr.ee/retrocrappod.
That's us.
Get all up on it. You can find all the links there, even a link to our Patreon, which we talked about earlier. It's super cheap, doesn't cost you a lot of money at all, and it gets you some extra stuff.
Ooh, like what, Aaron?
We got movie commentaries.
Oh.
We got bonus episodes that we recorded and then never released.
Oh, so the worst ones.
Yeah. We got what else do we got? We got there's like 3 commentaries up there now. There's an episode where I am super duper tired and I try to recap all of the Marvel movies leading up to Infinity War.
Oh yeah, the big Marvel recap. That was fun.
That was fun. We did a 40th episode extravaganza where we go and look back at the past 40 episodes and do like a
retrocrapular retrospective. And you kind of, I think, quiz me on some fun. You kind of helmed that episode. That was your thing. Yeah, I don't remember it anymore.
Yeah, you did some stuff, and then we got some more stuff that we want to do in the future. We got some plans. We try to update it whenever we can, but we don't always do it every month. But that's why it's so cheap. Yeah. So it balances out. Other than that, I think if you want to send us an email, you can, retrocrappod@gmail.com.
Yeah, we love getting emails.
We love it. We haven't gotten any recently, but like keep them coming if you got them. And anyways, that's all the stuff. And so stay sweet, stay sexy, stay safe. And until next time, keep watching crap.